In June 2023, Judge Eileen Cannon was assigned to oversee a case involving former President Donald Trump's classified documents. The role of judges in ensuring fairness and impartiality in the federal judicial system is crucial to uphold justice without bias. Judge Cannon, appointed by Trump, faced a conflict that questioned the fundamental principles of judicial performance. The federal case in Florida, due to its legal complexity and Trump's high-profile status, attracted significant attention. However, Judge Cannon's involvement raised concerns about potential bias because of her appointment by Trump. Two federal judges, Emma Romani and John Rossi, advised Judge Cannon to recuse herself from the case to maintain impartiality. They feared her actions might imply support for Trump, influencing the case's direction and possibly prolonging it strategically.
You know, when I got in, we had over 100 federal judges that weren't appointed.
Prosecutors and defense attorneys will tell you we follow a rule of primacy, recency. Start strong, end strong. This was one of the weakest starts I can imagine for somebody who's cross-examining the most consequential witness in the case. For the defense attorney, Todd Blanche, to stand up and open with, you called me a name on TikTok. It kind of shows the defense attorney to be thin-skinned, to be petty, and when a judge shuts you down on your very first cross-examination question, it sends a signal to the jury that this doesn't seem to be the best approach to cross-examining.
Glenn Kirschner criticized Trump's plea agreement to dismiss or delay the prosecution against him, highlighting its implications for judicial proceedings. Despite objections, Judge Cannon proceeded with hearings and motions related to Trump's case, including a motion to dismiss, which she denied, setting a trial date instead.
Important when we get down to the intent that was there about the falsification of the documents, and then to get it to the fraud. You know, we've also got the election conspiracy, but those documents are so important in this case.
Glenn, the defense not even committing to calling any witnesses. It could present its case as early as this week. How do you see the pace going? And what do you think are the key elements that still need to be dealt with by both the prosecution and the defense?
Yeah, it looks like this case is going to get to the jury quicker than expected. Now, what I will tell you is the ordinary course of business is at the beginning of the trial, the defense will announce, we're going to call 10 witnesses, 20, 50 witnesses. And when push comes to shove, they call maybe a few, maybe none at all. And that is because they have, the prosecution has the burden of proof. The defense has no burden of proof. It never shifts to the defense. They can stand there. They don't even have to make opening statements or closing arguments, and they don't have to present any witnesses. And when they don't present witnesses, I can tell you that you'll probably hear the defense attorney stand up in closing argument, say, ladies and gentlemen, you already know why we didn't present any witnesses. We didn't need to because the government failed to meet its burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. So why would we bother you with witnesses? Now, that
Kirschner noted that Judge Cannon's approach appeared to prioritize procedural matters over reaching a resolution.
just as Trump appointed Judge Aileen Cannon was meandering through some litigation in Donald Trump's federal case down in Florida, we learned that two of her fellow federal judges in Florida had advised Judge Cannon not to preside over Donald Trump's case. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. On Friday, Trump-appointed Judge Aileen Cannon held an all-day hearing in Donald Trump's federal case down in Florida, specifically a hearing on his request that she just toss his prosecution out altogether. And at the end of the hearing, Judge Cannon promptly denied Donald Trump's motion to dismiss, and she set a trial date. No, of course she didn't. She did no such thing. What did she do? She ordered more briefing, supplemental briefs on the motion that she just burned a whole day hearing arguments on. Then she turned her attention to sort of preparing for next week's round of frivolous Trump motions, multiple motions. And she'll be conducting equally pointless hearings next week, with no end in sight, with no imminent rulings on any of these motions, and with absolutely no
trial date on the horizon because she has refused.
He pointed out her reluctance to schedule a trial date, which suggested prolonged legal proceedings with no clear endpoint. Additionally, Judge Cannon heard challenges to the special counsel's appointment in Trump's case, further extending the litigation process. The ongoing postponements without a trial date raised concerns about the case's resolution and the integrity of judicial decisions. Critics accused Judge Cannon of prolonging the proceedings unnecessarily, emphasizing the need for clear timelines and impartial judicial conduct. The Florida case at Mar-a-Lago involving Trump's classified documents began when the FBI discovered highly sensitive materials during August 2022. Trump contested the FBI's actions, arguing they violated his privacy by seizing personal belongings. He demanded a special master or independent arbiter to review the documents, highlighting the case's legal complexity and its impact on his legal standing. Judge Cannon's decisions in this case included restricting investigators' access to evidence and appointing a special master to determine if any documents were protected by presidential privilege. These decisions were later overturned by an appeals court panel, criticizing Judge Cannon for bias and deviating from standard legal practices. The delays in Trump's legal proceedings were seen as advantageous for him, allowing more time for political campaigns and diverting public and media attention from his legal challenges. Critics argue that Judge Cannon's actions contributed to these delays, questioning the fairness and efficiency of the judicial process. In response to escalating criticisms and calls for her recusal, Judge Cannon faced mounting pressure to address concerns about her impartiality. Critics, including legal experts and commentators, highlighted the broader implications of her decisions on judicial independence and the public's trust in the legal system. The legal and political ramifications of Judge Cannon's decisions underscore the challenges in balancing judicial responsibilities with public expectations. The case involving Trump's classified documents at Mar-a-Lago exemplified the complexities of high-profile litigation and its impact on judicial credibility. Moving forward, the outcomes of Judge Cannon's decisions and the legal challenges surrounding Trump's case would continue to shape public discourse and legal precedents. The need for transparency, fairness, and accountability in judicial proceedings remain paramount, reflecting broader concerns about the rule of law and the separation of powers. In conclusion, Judge Cannon's oversight of the case involving former President Donald classified documents in Florida sparked significant debate and scrutiny. Her decisions, including appointment of a special master and restrictions on evidence access, drew criticism for her bias and deviations from standard legal practices. The case highlighted the tensions between independence, public trust, and political influences in high-profile legal disputes.